Welcome to Show Up and Glow. My name's Jalen. This is my cozy corner, a space created just for you to tune in and chill out. If this interests you, I invite you to find some headphones, a quiet space, and join me for a calming and comforting experience. If this is not for you, that is okay. I appreciate you stopping by. As you notice yourself enjoying your stay, please be sure to like and subscribe for more of this calm and cozy vibe. Now let's get started. Welcome into the cozy corner. Gotta get adjusted. Doesn't quite feel like autumn yet. I know, we talk about it all the time, but guys, it only comes around once a year and it's my favorite season. So I gotta take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? So, it doesn't quite feel like fall or autumn yet where I live, but you know what's around the corner? Not that car. But you know what's coming. Ooh. Where I live, we do a time change. Yes. It seems very archaic and like we should get rid of it. I know. I agree. I'm on that bandwagon of like get rid of it because it just really throws everything out of whack. But we are about to approach my favorite time change, which is falling back. Yes. The best time change, in my opinion, is the falling back where we gain an hour of sleep. One of my favorite things to do, because you're your most coziest when you're sleeping. And it means our time, if you're unfamiliar with it, I know I have some worldly viewers, which thank you so much for being here with me today, wherever you're tuning in from. But if you're unfamiliar with a time change, this time of the year, we get to fall back, meaning it goes from 3 p.m. to 2 p.m. and it's glorious. And there are haters. There are haters who are like, no, I don't like the time change because it falls back and then it gets dark earlier and me. And I like the springtime when we spring forward and we gain that hour. Me. But I tell you right now, absolutely love when we fall back. One, because our bodies naturally, because we're nature, we are nature in flesh form, along with birds and everything else. Because our bodies naturally, when the seasons are changing, wants to fall asleep earlier, wants to get cozier earlier. And I always feel like this time change is way too late. Like it should literally kick off the first day of fall or autumn, because that's right away when we start feeling it. Everything kind of changes outside, like you can feel it, you're like, yeah, it's here. That's when we need it. But the time change is just so far away. Like it makes no sense, because since the first day of fall or in autumn, I've been feeling so sleepy. And then I look at the clock and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so late. Because it'll be like 10 p.m. And I'm like, oh man, I'm so tired. That feels so late. But then I remember when the time changes, it'll only be 9 p.m. And then I feel like, wow, I'm really getting ahead of it. And then when you wake up in the morning and it's like It's just so good. And it goes along the theme of listening to your body and changing with the seasons and how important that is. I think there's the debate in our country about, like, do we spring forward and keep that time, which we're on right now? Do they call that daylight savings, or is what we're about to do daylight savings? Either way, I don't like the spring one because it feels like we're losing an hour. But the argument is that the sun stays, as I'm saying it out loud, the argument is that the sun stays up longer when we spring forward, like the clocks dictate how the sun moves, and that when we fall back, it's darker earlier. But that's just because Mother Nature's doing Mother Nature, you know what I mean? The clocks don't dictate the sun. The sun is just out longer because that's the season. Regardless if we sprung forward, we could still be on the fall back time. And the sun would still stay out longer, you know what I mean? Like, it just, that makes sense, right? That's like logical. It's like how the time change is coming up, and I very much feel it. I very much want to sleep in the mornings. I really want that extra hour, but I'm like, nope, you gotta get up. The day's going. I know you're sleepy, but we gotta go. And then just wanting to fall back just feels so nice, because you're like, you don't get home and then feel like your day is done. You're like, oh, okay, it's not actually that late. It's so nice. It's so nice. I can see how it can be hard when you live in areas of the world and the country where it gets dark really early, and then that darkness lasts for months and months and months and months. And, you know, it's great to come back to the cozy corner in those times so you can feel a little bit, you know, the colorful, the chill vibes, just feeling warmth during those cold and dark months that I personally do not experience where I live. But I know enough people and have heard stories how challenging that can be mentally. And some people buy those like UV lamps, or those like vitamin D lamps, just sun lamps, to try to like ease that feeling. And I bet that works. And if you live in one of those places and you're watching this, please come back to the cozy corner when you start feeling like you need a little bit of joy, a little bit of calm down for your mind, and just a space to disconnect from the reality of what's outside. Because it can be really dreary, I guess. And, you know, I feel for you. I want you to feel like that. We only get a little bit of that here, so I like to savor it as long as I can. But I digress. I've really been thinking about getting one of those Hatch alarm clocks where it like wakes you up with like a replicated sunrise in your room. Because right now I just wake up to the alarm clock on my phone, and that's quite literally what every person, man, woman, child alive tells you not to do, is like, don't keep your phone by your bed. I'm like, how am I gonna wake up? What am I gonna do if I have my phone by my bed? Which is silly, so silly. But I don't just rise with the sun naturally, do you? Some people do. If you do, leave us a comment below and tell us how you did it, because that's impressive. I don't have it in me. But when we fall back, it's a lot easier to do that, because you just start to feel like, uh-oh, I'm oversleeping, because you're on that, you know, you're on that old time. And you wake up and you're like, yes, I'm early and I feel rested. just is the best. It's the absolute best feeling in the entire world. And if you don't go through a time change, what's that like? What is that like? I'll never know. I'll never know. Let's get a little cozy, shall we? Let's just kind of settle into the moment and chill out, listen to some sounds. Whatever you might hear today from outside my window is always a surprise. You're always going to hear Mr. Clock in the background. He's going to keep us there. If you don't want to close your eyes, you're more than welcome to hang out with lovely Lady Lava Lamp. And if you're new here and you made it this far in the video, this is just what it is. We're just here to hang out, calm down for a little bit, and then you can go about your day, your night, go to bed, whatever feels good for you today. So let's bring it on down now, and let's kind of, I don't know, think about how nice it'll be when the leaves start changing, it starts getting crisp outside if you do not live in that place yet. And just enjoy the stillness with each other. We can take some rounds of breath to really settle us in. Just kind of meditate on the beauty that is fall and autumn. See if you can find the beauty in that season and think about your favorite things that come to mind with that season. Let's do 3 rounds of breath together. And this time I'll count them for us. We'll do a nice deep inhale, and then we'll hold it at the top, and then a nice slow exhale, and then we'll do 3 rounds just like that, okay? Eyes open or closed, whatever's comfortable. And let's begin. Nice big inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale all the way out, and then come to stillness. I'll share some of my favorite things about fall that I haven't shared on here yet. Seeing the trees change in my neighborhood. The yellows and the reds, the oranges and the greens. It just becomes so magical and unique to see all those colors at the same time. I do love the part where trees also shed their leaves and you see all the limbs and the detail, the birds' nests that have been hiding there. I love the exposure of that and knowing that leaves will grow back on that tree, which is pretty miraculous. I love all the spices that start getting incorporated into foods, into pies, the holidays that start to come in the fall that bring people together, the slowness that fall starts to welcome before winter allows us to be a little still and calm and Just lean into that. I love the holiday commercials that start showing up on TV in the fall, preparing us for the seasons ahead. I love the smell of fall. Kind of starts to smell like dew in the air. Really clean, really crisp. I love seeing people out and about walking in my neighborhood early in the morning and getting home at night because the weather's so nice. Kids playing after school brings back nostalgia and the feelings of when I was a kid myself. I love that we start bringing out blankets, different blankets for our beds, our couches, our cozy corners. Something just a little heavier, not quite winter, but cozier, that we've put away since last year. I love the fanfare of the sports that go on during the fall season where I live. It comes around once a year and it's now equated with the fall, which is really nice. And seeing people on TV in the stands enjoying the fall weather bundled up. Again, kind of nostalgia vibes. And I just love that we live on a planet that has different seasons and that we get to experience this change from one to the next, knowing that another season will be right behind it. And the constant change of that is very comforting. It can give you a lot of hope when it's cold and dreary outside, knowing that it will pass. It always does. A lot like life. A lot like things that happen in your day-to-day. So now, take as long as you like. Just think about some of the things you love about fall, about autumn, about things you're excited about doing. Just let it fill you up with joy, with peace, and calm you down a little bit. Because that's what we're here to do in the cozy